Okay, so it seems like the devs might have listened. Now, if you don't know, there's been quite a lot of controversy in the past couple of, few hours of the anniversary event that came out for Wuthering Waves. If you don't know, Wuthering Waves just had the anniversary live stream, which was alright. I think a lot of the events and a lot of the stuff that actually went on in the Wuthering Waves live stream itself was actually pretty good. I mean, it seemed like a pretty fun time. The events looked really good. And, well, the main problem that a lot of people had was with the rewards. And this was a big issue. A lot of people weren't happy at the fact that the rewards just weren't as good, and people just weren't really happy with it in general. And honestly, I wasn't too happy with it either. But it seems like Wuthering Waves might actually be open to a couple of changes, like they always do with a lot of this kind of stuff, to actually, doing some kind of feedback and actually changing maybe some of the anniversary rewards. So they actually sent this message in the Discord just a couple of minutes ago saying, "Hello Rovers, we've heard your concerns in regards to the anniversary livestream. After further discussions with the team, we've reopened the anniversary channel for you to voice out your concerns or suggestions, positive or negative. Please note that the Rovers will strictly adhere to the server rules and stuff like that." And they say, please click the link. And, well, there's actually a whole chat on Discord I can show you right now. This is the chat. It's called Anniversary Feedback. And pretty much, yeah, it's got a ton of people asking for different stuff. And obviously, yeah, I need to be verified on my phone to actually chat in here. But it pretty much allows users to voice their opinions and concerns with the game, which one of the main things, obviously, is going to be the rewards. And obviously, some people are typing this saying they want player and spend $500 on the game. And my thoughts, the rewards are pretty disappointing, and a lot of it seems focused purely on new players rather than the ones that haven't been playing since the start. They say, 24 banners patch right after a 10-day Shorekeeper one seems like a cheap way to cash in. And yeah, saying giving out free Zhang Liao's damage control after a buggy launch with tons of drama, but not giving out anything good after the anniversary, after the game stabilized, sends out the wrong message and feels like they've decided that they've earned enough goodwill not to be generous enough. Which, again, I think is totally true. And I feel like, this is one of these sentiments that is getting passed around a lot, is the fact that it feels just not very good from a perspective of this being an anniversary patch. I think for it being a patch in general, it's pretty good. If this was just the 2.3 patch, no anniversary, it would be a pretty decent patch. Zany looks really good, Chacona looks really good, all of the stuff in the game looks really good, but whenever it comes to the rewards and a lot of the stuff that is actually coming with, the whole anniversary stuff, that is where that's the big problem. And I think, Wuthering Waves has kind of identified that as well, with the fact of this being anniversary feedback. They're not saying this is feedback on the entire update. That's like really careful, I guess, like word choice here, where they're not saying, hey, this is the anniversary feedback in general. It's actually just, it's not the update, patch in general. It's actually the anniversary patch and, the part of it, the anniversary part pretty much. And essentially what they're asking for is, yeah, some like opinions on what, they could change. Now, does this mean they're going to change it? Maybe not. Maybe they're just going to have some feedback and maybe they look at this and go, okay, we just can't do this for whatever reason. Not saying that it's justified or anything that they can't do this. They definitely can, give out more free rewards and stuff like that. But again, I feel like, it is a step in the right direction, especially, it's only been a couple of hours since the live stream actually came out and since people have started kind of being very annoyed with a lot of the stuff that's come out. So hopefully they do go ahead and change it because, again, this has been a big issue. And this is, I think, what has been the thing that is kind of annoyed fans. I feel like if they gave away something even bigger, for example, a free 5-star or something like that, or maybe even added guaranteed stuff to the banner thing that came out. Obviously, there's a whole thing with a ton of characters on a banner, and you could essentially pull for it, but there's still a 50-50. I reckon if they added a guarantee to that as well, it could help to make the anniversary feel a little bit more like an anniversary, and less of just like a, hey guys, just spend your money, all of this. Because, again, it doesn't seem like one of these things where, like, you don't have this, like, big thing to look forward to. I feel like, they kind of hinted at a couple of stuff. For example, the skins. The skins look really great, but the problem is they're not coming out in the next patch. They're coming out in the patch after, which is 2.4, And the same with the Cyberpunk Edge Runners kind of collab. Very amazing collab, and I can't wait for it. But the fact is, it's coming out in 2026. That's still ages away. That's not something we're going to be able to get next update. And I think having more stuff that we can actually, have fun with and actually kind of look forward to in the next patch, not in patches in the future, is going to be the key, because that's what a lot of gacha games do. They give you something to look forward to, something big to look forward to in an anniversary event, and I think this is one of the cases that they should be doing this, and they should learn from other gacha games. Obviously, yeah, there's some people saying worst anniversary. Like, I feel like this isn't very constructive at all. I feel like opening up an anniversary feedback, let's just not spam this with like worst anniversary. They do understand that this hasn't been a good anniversary. That's why they opened up in the first place. You don't need to tell them that. You need to tell them what you want changed, okay? I feel like a lot of people are going to be very mad, and I totally get it why you are very mad at this kind of stuff happening. But the fact is, although it is one of the worst anniversaries, we've seen in a while, obviously it's not terrible. It's not like completely bad, but it's just like it could have been better. Obviously, and it's a first anniversary as well, so we haven't had any before. So for a first one, it is pretty bad. Obviously, don't just go in there and say, oh, bad anniversary, and like list nothing about it. You want to give the feedback to the developers to let them do this, Don't just spam it. Don't just be like, oh, it's bad because I say it's bad and I think it's bad. No, you got to say it's bad because I don't like the fact there's not as many pools, or I don't like the fact that this happened or this happened. And you got to be constructive with this, which a couple of people have been doing. Obviously, they say, please make the banners for the anniversary better. Them being the exact same as normal limited banner just feels like a slap in the face, which is definitely another change that I want. I definitely want it to be a guaranteed banner. I think that would make it so much better. And maybe even just the choice to get one of those characters would be even better too. Now, obviously, yeah, people are saying free Zani. That's just not viable. I feel like a free Zani just isn't on the table. And I think anybody kind of expecting that is kind of stupid. I'm going to be honest. It's just not one of those things where it's like, okay, it kind of like bites at a lot of their money. And it's just like, that's just not viable. But I think giving away a previous character, for example, any of the ones on those banners that we've seen, definitely on the cards. I feel like that's actually fully available for Wuthering Waves to do. And they say, other people are saying you should make the characters on the anniversary special convene guaranteed. Obviously, yeah, I think that's true. Considering there's like 12 rerun banners and we only get 20 pools and we still have a chance to lose 50-50, I wouldn't call this anniversary level rewards. True again. And well, it seems like a lot of people are really hitting the nail on the head here. Obviously, I've just gone through a small chunk. This chat keeps going and going and going. I've gone through a small little source of what people are saying and what people are suggesting for feedback. And it seems to be pretty good. People actually are giving good advice. They're not just like being like, oh, give me a free Ferrari because I feel like it. That's not the case. They're actually giving constructive feedback, which is going to be really, really good for the game and really, really good for the developers to actually look at and go, okay, this is what we can change. This is what we can improve. And hopefully they do improve on it, because again, this is a major update in what is going on with the anniversary at the moment and could be something that actually changes around the overall public perception. We've seen on China's kind of platforms as well, people are not very happy with this either. It's going to be a very global thing. It's not just EN not very happy. It's everywhere. Everywhere is not happy with this. And obviously, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It's a fine patch. But at the end of the day, it's not as much as people were really expecting. And this is why they've opened up this anniversary feedback channel. So if you guys want to go and actually add your own things to this, then definitely go over to the official Wuthering Waves Discord. I'm pretty sure you can literally put Wuthering Waves in the invite thing and it'll take you straight there. And they have this anniversary tab right at the top in the suggested. So just go there. Give your feedback on what you want to see, because again, it does matter, and it seems like they are willing and open to change, which is a good thing. We never see this with any other company. Let's be real. We never see this with Hoyoverse, anything like that. They'll have a bad anniversary patch and they'll go, oh, it's fine, and they'll just leave it. And that's what they could have done. And well, this time they're even, they've opened up a feedback channel. They've opened up all of this stuff to allow people to actually, give their opinions and allow them to make it better. And hopefully this is the change of the anniversary. We hope that in, the next couple of weeks or so, or in the next couple of days, we hear an announcement from Wuthering Waves in the future saying, hey guys, this is what we're going to change because of all the feedback we've gotten in this Discord. And maybe they're going to open up some other surveys in the game as well to see if they can, try and make it better before it releases, because we've only got 10 days until the actual patch releases. So again, I don't think they can make any massive changes. For example, changing characters or anything like that. I don't think that's on the table, but I think giving more rewards is very easy to do. Literally a click of a button kind of thing. The same with changing guaranteed rates and stuff on banners. Really, really simple changes, which they can definitely do within 10 days. So hopefully we do see some changes, and hopefully they do listen to this, this kind of stuff. And it's really great to see. I'm very happy that, Wuthering Waves have actually, asked about this. But the thing that's going to make me even happier is if they actually listen and they do make some changes. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see from this and what you guys want to change or what you guys want to improve. Because again, there's a lot of people very unhappy. So let me know. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys updated if anything else is to happen. But yeah, that's what I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.